So, what do you do? How do you make money, or like just what do you find interesting?
Well, I'm a Heaven on Earth ambassador, and I'm an author and an educator, specifically in the fields of spiritual growth and on therapeutic modalities.
Okay, that's beautiful. Nice. How did you come across that?
Yeah, I wrote my book, The Reiki Apprentice, and I spent a long time, over a decade, 15 years or so, working in healthcare facilities, teaching chair yoga and doing Reiki therapeutic touch with patients and facilitating programs. And now I have a small business where I actually facilitate certificate training. Yeah, and I want to say that I am very grateful to meet you. I have no idea. All I know is there's a keyword nipple involved. And I just feel really honored. So I just bless this meeting between the two of us, and I know it's going to be perfect, whatever it is.
Cool. My topic is, why do women have to wear shirts in public? And when was the breast sexualized because it's not a sexual organ? Just like, how did that come about? Yeah, so I'm kind of just like wanted to talk to somebody, like, if you're in support of like women's rights to be able to express herself however she wants, and that the body is beautiful and sacred and not something to over sexualize, even though we are sexual beings. Like, I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on like women being able to say just go topless in public, or like should we be able to, or what are your thoughts on that being a law? I mean, it is illegal in most places, in the U.S. for women to walk around topless. So
I am curious to hear how you feel about it. I mean, I know I'm kind of doing the switcheroo, but what age are you, if I may ask?
I'm 17.
You're 17, and before, because believe me, I have some stuff to share with you, but I'm just interested for someone in your age range, how you're perceiving, how you're feeling about this all these topics and these themes.
Yeah. Well,
do you want to be able to go topless to the liquor store, or to or to Costco, or the beach?
I would like that, although, like, I have been in the situation where, I'm wearing my like Free the Nipple shirt that has like a pair of boobs on it, and like even that is like getting people whistling, and like people are yelling at you, and like, or just like, why are you wearing a shirt with boobs on it? Like, well, what's wrong with that? Like, to men, I'm like, you walk around with your shirt off, and I don't know, and I'm in a place where like I can't like fight the law, so because I don't know enough facts about it, so I'm just kind of like grabbing all of the info I can, and like all of the different ways people perceive the idea of women going topless. And something I'm really playing with is, what does it mean to violate a taboo? And that the taboo being a woman revealing her breasts in public. And so, yeah, I feel like we should be able to, but I completely understand women feeling uncomfortable because we live in a society that, where your breasts are somehow a sexual organ, an object. I mean, they are and they aren't. Like, I don't, they're beautiful, and like a woman should be able to express that, but it's like almost frowned upon, or like, I support a campaign called Free the Nipple. I don't know, have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so in a nutshell, it's basically a woman should only wear a shirt if she's cold or uncomfortable, not because it's the law. And so I wear like my Free the Nipple shirt, and it has like a pair of breasts on it, and like, anyway, so and that's kind of what I'm going for, is like, I that's what I support, is if a woman is comfortable enough to go out in the world and express her body the way it is, she should be able to. And I think it's a little bit disrespectful that it's a law that we can't, you know.
Does the organization offer to women who want to support that law or that way of living, do they offer any kind of tools so that if one of you or your lady friends decides to go to Costco topless, do they offer any tools on how to, speak to or communicate with people that might be confrontive or otherwise?
Yes and no, because at this point it's so broad and so big and so illegal that if a woman does go out topless, she'll get arrested. And so we're not quite to that point of, here's, and I don't know if I heard it completely correctly, but, here are tips to be able to go out topless and advice for, how to handle, your rage with inequality. I don't know.
No, I bring that up because it's important as let's see. As you decide to follow through on this path, it's important that we understand without judgment the collective mind.
Yeah.
And how the collective mind has been trained at this point. And in this Western, specifically in America, men are not used to, women aren't used to being topless at all, even in front of their husbands sometimes. So this is very revolutionary on one hand. And I think if it's really going to be an evolution that contains a level of enlightened intention, that it will really, really serve women that are interested in supporting and advocating that they practice mindfulness without judging everyday people in this realm. Understanding that we live in a world of stories, and we are constantly creating new stories like this group that you are with. So the point is that if we are going to free the nipple, so to speak, don't be like, what? Men are looking at me? What are they looking at? Don't be shocked when women call you a slut. Don't be shocked when men start drooling or acting in a way that we would prefer. There would be a higher vibrational, exchange. I'm not saying to expect the worst, but I'm saying see the higher perspective and know this is going to cause ripples. And so be prepared and be willing to do the work. If this is truly something that women are banding together and holding space for this new collective way of women to be understood and respected and heard and seen in the world, then the preparation, it needs to happen. So as you're inviting yourselves, this group, these women, more women to unveil their breasts, understand that the world may not be able to see things the way you see things. And I know that the Free the Nipple movement, or I'm assuming, is planting the seed so that we all see things differently, so that we can all see women in a new light. Yet, being prepared and taking responsibility to educate those who don't get it is vitally important if you wish to really see the change you wish to be in the world. Otherwise, it's going to be a cycle of women just trying to change, just trying to explore new ways of expressing themselves, being met over and over again by discrimination or judgment and blah, blah, blah. So it's our responsibility, your responsibility, to be ready and willing to have tools. And obviously, there's a song, know when to hold it, know when to fold it, know when to walk away, when to run. So it's not every single situation are you going to be stopping and talking and educating a man or something about this. Yet, for the most part, it's important. For years in New York, I never wore a bra. And it got a lot of it. I would wear a shirt, but I never wore a bra. And I don't have huge boobs or anything, but you can tell when a woman doesn't wear a bra and when she does. And I would get attention, from men checking me out, and I just had to keep beaming love from my eyes and from my heart, and just not succumbing to where I thought they were coming from, and just keeping the energy up here high, keeping the energy with love and with light, and with not down in the basement of sex and whatever, or even judgment. One day, this dude totally was like, "Hey, baby," blah 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 blah, all this sort of stuff, right? Because well, and he was saying, "Oh, your tits and this and that," because I wasn't wearing a bra. And I just kept walking, which is what you just do as a woman often when this stuff happens. And then I said, you know what? This is such a learning opportunity. And I was in the right, proper mode. I knew it was time. I turned around and I said, listen, brother, let me talk to you. And I was like, do you really think that I want to hear the way that you're talking to me right now? Do you really think that I want to be getting with you, or that me as a woman, like, really want and am seeking you to say what you're saying to me? And I basically took 5 minutes and I educated him. And he was open to receiving what I said, which was a blessing, because not everyone perhaps will be. But at the end of it, he said, you know what? I never ever thought about it like that. And he was like, it felt very genuine that he was cool with it. He's like, you know what? I get this. He's like, I got sisters. So now I can imagine, because I was like, do you have sisters? Do you have a daughter? I was like, how do you think they feel? I was like, it's one thing to say, like, a lady's beautiful. There's different levels of how you can, express your what up, to one another. And even if you're a dude and that's the way that you roll, you're old school. Some of these old school men, they have a machismo thing, or that's just the way they talk to ladies. But I was like, let me invite you, brother, to elevate your word with women, even if you think it's a beautiful or a hot lady, or she's not wearing a bra. And if you have to say something, let it be kind, let it be evolved. Take it to the next level of how you would want your daughter or your sister to receive a comment. And he was like blown away. So that is an example of what I offer you. And this movement and any other like women is, be prepared. Don't get upset at men. Don't get upset at the women. They don't understand, because you are blowing their mind. You are allowing them to create new synaptic connections in their brain and their mind of how they view the world, how they view themselves, the relationships, and what we are collectively redefining safety for ourselves as women in this world. So that as you go into the world and free your nipples, be prepared to make sure it's a safe place to land when you don't have a shirt to put on and you're surrounded by 20 men. Let's get real. Like, some people are not there yet. So it is your job to educate them, is what I think, what I feel.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think it's something we could just, like, go out into the world and completely change. Like that would, and people do that. There are protests. In New York City, it's now illegal for a woman to, like, walk topless, because a bunch of people, like, did a movement and changed the law there. But, like, yeah, we would, of course, get responses from men and other women, and we'd have to be prepared for that. But over time, I think, it could be hundreds of years, before society transforms into like, normalizing that taboo, because it should be.
Yeah, and everybody to their own. I think, the best tools are seeing the highest good in one another, male, female. When someone doesn't act or react in a way we want, forgive them right away. And just bless them. Keep raising the vibration, keep raising the frequency, so that collectively we can meet each other there. If this is really a part of your, and I know this is a project and you're exploring and you're with this group and you have the shirt and you're experimenting, that's you're 17 and you're wearing that shirt. That's very, very powerful, of an experiment for you to do. And I'm sure you're documenting it to a fashion, and I think continuing to document it will be amazing for any future writings you do. So I definitely support you in that. But yeah, we're here to create a new story, and your story is as much a part of it as everyone else's. So I think if we take the righteousness out of it, which I know political situations, activism can be very heated at times. Yet, who's really saying who's right and who's wrong? Everybody has the right to their own truth. And not every woman wants to take her shirt off.
Yeah.
And not every man wants his woman to take her shirt off. And, there's so many different fractals of ways to see it. So this is a big one that you're in.
Yeah.
How do you, how do you feel about it? Like, is there an age limit? Like, it's just all across the board?
All across the board. Whoever is comfortable with it. I mean, of course, if somebody's not comfortable with it, I don't want them to do it, because that's the whole point, is to be comfortable. So why make yourself uncomfortable? But yeah, like whoever wants to should be able to, and it really depends on not the maybe the willpower of the person. When they do get reactions, are they gonna put a shirt back on, or are they gonna be somebody that just fights through that and starts to normalize it? It's really just there are parts of me that's let's fight for that right, but it's also, I want it to be peaceful and done with ease, and not I don't know, I want people to be comfortable with it. I don't believe in making things right and peaceful through making other people uncomfortable in the process. I think the outcome's not going to be the peaceful scenario you want it to be, if throughout the way you are, I don't know.
No, you're saying it beautifully there, and I absolutely agree.
We just want people to be comfortable, basically. Even if we're fighting for our rights, we don't want it to be a battle,
Yeah. So,
not with that mentality.
Yeah, and this is so tricky, and as we attune to the power of our words, what I invite you to, just as a seed in your own heart or mind as it resonates with you, is to consider removing the word fight altogether. Consider removing all the war, violent, words from your journey with this. What we continue to speak and to act in anger with perpetuates it. So if we really want to evolve the situation, in a quick way, then let's think about how to change the wording of this. We're ready. That you're in a new generation. You can redefine everything in a very enlightened, peaceful, nonviolent way. Mother Teresa would not go to a war rally because she knew the power of word. She knew, she's like, why do I want to go and rally for war? She goes, when you do a peaceful rally, a rally for peace, I'll be there and support it. You understand? Right?
Yeah.
That's the mojo. That's the depth that you are working with. Should you truly, sincerely stay on this path, and I talk to you as a sister, and I'm very honored to speak to you today, and whatever you're going to take from this, I bless it, and may it serve you and all the divine peers, your sisters, that walk with you. But this is a very, very powerful path, and may it be filled with peace. And of course, there's going to be a few tables overturned. There's going to be some shit might go down here and there, and that's part of the experiment and the journey. Yet being mindful of what we are, how much dynamite on your end or on the movement's end are they going to plant along the path, And it's being mindful the wake you leave behind you as you go, and being mindful the wake you want to spread in front of you and throughout all time and space. So that if you have a daughter, a sister, a younger, youth, you want to be a mentor to them, how does that look? And ultimately, it's up to the individual. Your truth will speak to you. And I mean, if someone told me, 15, 20 years ago, stop being angry at the man, I would have been I would have gotten angry at them. But now I see things differently.
Yeah. Okay, well,
And
that's good.
Yeah. It has served my peace.
Yeah, I'm, working on that.
Yeah. Well,
It takes time.
It does, and it's just an invitation that I want you to know is there from the universe.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.